Hello, welcome to another Paso del Norte Community Foundation Facebook Live Q&A. Thank you for joining us here again. Today we're here with two of the Community Foundation's nonprofit partners that are part of the Foundation's Community of Philanthropy. We have Charles Horak, founder of the EP COVID-19 Medical Equipment and Supply Fund, and Joseph Sapien. He's the director of the Success Through Technology Education Foundation, or the STTE Foundation. Thank you both for joining us today. We'll be talking about and answering your questions about the ways in which these two nonprofits are working to address the needs of the community in dealing with COVID-19. The EP COVID-19 Medical Equipment and Supply Fund has partnered with the nonprofit Fablab of El Paso to fabricate protective equipment using 3D printers. The face shields being created by them are available at low cost. The EP COVID-19 Medical Equipment and Supply Fund was established by Mr. Horak to accept donations to support the production and acquisition of needed medical supplies for frontline workers, including the production of face shields by local 3D printers. The STTE Foundation has an initiative which is called Technology Initiative Empowering Students, TIES, and that is working to help enable students to continue their education remotely by providing students with laptops and removing the financial burden from their families. Since TIES began, the STTE Foundation has received more than 1,300 applications for laptops, which affirms the fact that students are experiencing digital divide difficulties. We do encourage you to submit your questions early in the comments here on Facebook Live, and we'll answer as many as possible during the 15-minute live session. As always, we encourage you to visit epcovid19.org. It's your COVID-19 information hub for the Paso del Norte region. It was created by Paso del Norte Health Foundation, our sister organization, to help the community find valuable resources and help get through the current health crisis. There's links and other resources there for parents, students, businesses, mental health needs, and a lot more. So go ahead and log in there. It's all available in English and Spanish. And there's also a site for Juarez, which is juarezcovid19.org. So again, thank you, Charles, and thank you, Joseph, for joining us today.
Thank you, Dave.
Let's start off with a question for you, Charles. Tell us about your nonprofit and your partnership with Fablab to create these 3D printed face shields.
Well, a lot's happened in the last few weeks. We did set up a fund to help reimburse makers in the community who I saw were 3D printing much needed PPE or personal protection equipment like face masks and face shields for hospitals, clinics, other first responders and frontline service providers. And Fablab was one of the early groups I saw doing prototyping and really working in the community. Because Fablab has often operated as a hub of innovation for a lot of makers in the community, they were a natural fit to sort of act as the collector of these devices and oversee the distribution. Fablab itself is producing a number of these face masks and face shields, along with several very technically capable people in the community. And as a lot of us have been out of work or doing less work, there's a lot of people in the community that really stepped up and want to give back and help protect the people who are working in our community to protect us. So Fablab has been important in that regard, as well as some individuals like Ryan Orozco, Tara Abraham, if they're watching. There's a lot of great folks out there all pitching in on this effort. And to date, we've got the production now geared up and ramped up to about 500 reusable face masks and 500 reusable face shields that we can produce per day. So we're taking orders. I think you all have a site that you're going to list there in a moment for those orders.
Yeah, I mean, the community, like you mentioned, the community has really come together to try and solve some of these issues that we're having, not only with providing PPEs for frontline workers, but also helping out students and things of that nature. How did you go about partnering with Fablab? Where did that idea come from to print these 3D face shields?
Well, we're on Facebook Live right now, and initially I just started seeing posts by disparate people, many of which I didn't even know at the time, who were posting pictures of face shields and face masks, and Fablab was one of them, and they were showing pictures of them distributing these components to various healthcare workers. And as we got to know one another and hear more about what we were each doing in our own ways, it became obvious that the way to maximize our individual efforts was to work collectively, if in a social distancing sort of way, to produce the same device. So we all work towards a unified design, which actually comes from the NIH site. The National Institutes of Health have actually been receiving designs from 3D printers and designers around the country for months, and they've been testing some of those. And so the two designs we settled on have been widely used in hospitals in hotspots like New York and Philadelphia and California, and is approved by the NIH. So once we decided on a design that we all liked and that we got good feedback from clinicians on, we all just kind of started moving in the same direction. So we now just coordinate our efforts, and it's been a really remarkable thing to see the community step up, including
Yeah.
Tovar Printing, who's producing the Mylar shields for us. Wonderful company Columbus Industries, who has a maquila in Juarez, who's been providing N100 filter fabric that turns these mask frames into something very close to an N95, much coveted medical mask.
That's good to know. That's good to know that different members of the community are partnering with you to help you on this project. Again, the name of the fund is the EP COVID-19 Medical Equipment and Supply Fund. There on your screen, you should see the URL to go ahead and, if you want to purchase a face mask or face shield, or donate in order to help purchase the necessary equipment to make them. And also, if you go into the comments section here on the Facebook Live, there's a link that you can click on there in the comments, so that you can click on that and either purchase or donate. Again, we encourage you to submit your questions there in the comments here on the Facebook Live. If you have any comments for either Charles or Joseph Sapien from the STTE Foundation, who they work with students on various STEM related projects. Joseph, right now you guys are working on what's called the Technology Initiative Empowering Students program, which is helping
Yes.
students continue their education from home by purchasing laptops for them. I know it's quite difficult right now for a lot of these students, many of whom may not have access to either a device or Wi-Fi. Tell us about TIES, what it stands for, and how you're helping students
Okay,
connect.
great. First, thanks, Paso del Norte, and for doing this, and hearing Charles, what great work we're doing, what you guys are doing in the community. So, TIE stands for Technology Initiative Empowering Students, and what we're trying to do is, there's been a heavy load of trying to get students and families that are working from home. And some houses have either no device or one device amongst a family of five, amongst a family of 4, 6. It's just dependent on the family, and so one device is not enough. And so what we're trying to do is raise funds to buy Chromebooks, and then we put out a call to the community based on their needs were, and we received overwhelmingly like 1,400 requests, and so it was a really big number. And so we're like, okay, how do we solve this? And so we're looking to convene a task force to help. This may be something that carries obviously into the summer and then into the next school year. And so we're just trying to stay ahead of the curve as far as trying to help provide as many devices to households as possible. And so we received great support from Western Tech, who we're also going to have an event that we will be giving. We've already screened 15 youth who are in need, and we'll be providing some devices for those 15, and then we'll be making some announcements on what our next steps are to try and help with those other 1,400 families. And so it's a big need. We know it's not going to go away anytime soon, and so we're just trying to do our part to help make sure that these kids have the proper tools to continue their education from home, and also make sure that they're not just kind of having to do it where they have to wait for their parents to finish their work, so they can we're just trying to help as best as we can. So
Yeah.
everything is on our website at stttefoundation.org. And so our team is working to get this resolved, and it's been a lot of lessons learned.
Yeah, it's really amazing when I read how many people had already just requested to see if they could get a laptop through this program.
Yeah,
And just to think about those who maybe haven't even heard about it yet that are out there,
yeah.
and that the need in the community for these students right now to help them continue their education must be so huge. How many students have you been able to help so far?
So we're at 15 right now. We're also making some connections with individuals that are needing a device within certain districts, that just trying to make connections to help get them devices. What we found, though, is that there's a device shortage. So even though we wanted to purchase X amount, there was only a certain amount available. So we're kind of in a queue of waiting. And we're looking at creative ways. That's why we're going to convene a task force to find creative ways, like perhaps a laptop exchange program where families can donate, devices, laptop devices to us, and then we would wipe the data and install operating systems. So there's a lot of challenges that go on with that, but quickly and swiftly looking for ways to get devices into households. So it may be something where people are donating devices to needy families, and just because there's a shortage of actual equipment that you can buy right now, and so we encountered that issue as well. So
So what you're saying is, I mean, while you would prefer to buy them new Chromebooks or laptops, the need is so great that even a donation of an older laptop that can be still used is welcome.
yeah, that's what we're looking at. That's definitely what we're looking at, is different ways to how can we quickly get devices into households, just because of the huge amount of need. So so yeah, I mean, we're raising money, trying to raise money to buy devices, but we're also thinking of maybe perhaps doing an app that will do that connection process for us. So we have a team of developers that are working on an app that will create profiles and then match. And so we're trying to find ways to help during these times.
Okay. And I know that as far as STTE Foundation goes, a lot of what you all do is, for those of you out there watching who don't know, STTE Foundation has a lot of summer camps and workshops for students who are interested in STEM education. So obviously now with everything going on with COVID-19, I'm sure that it's going to take a lot of adjustment for your foundation to continue these programs. How have you guys, what have you all done so far to try to adapt to the current situation?
Yeah, we're looking at different tools, remote learning tools. We're also upping our R&D to keep developing our app, which is called Unicorn Teens. And again, that's also being developed by our partner Parabeak, who is they do cutting edge technology apps, and so software engineering. And so we're working with them to how can we make our app more user friendly for youth to learn from. So we're looking to kind of either pivot to just focus more 100% on app learning, and then also looking at different tools like Slido. We're looking at just different tools for remote learning, because yeah, we are shifting our focus to summer development camps. And how do you make an impact in kids' lives through the computer? And so one, we're trying to solve this problem by getting computers in households, but also the experience of learning. How do we make sure that kids are still having a fun time behind the computer? So I have two kids, and I watch how they are learning right now, and I'm just trying to, STT is looking to enhance that through technology, because I think that's important. Is if we're going down this path for X amount of months or years, like, I think the experience of learning is what's most important. So yeah, we're working with the software development company with our app, and then looking at different tools that are already out there, that give kids, fun, exciting ways to learn.
Great. And we are getting close to our 15-minute time limit here. Again, we are here today with Charles Horak from the EP COVID-19 Medical Equipment and Supply Fund, and Joseph Sapien from the STTE Foundation. If you have any other questions after this Facebook Live is over, it will still be up on Paso del Norte Community Foundation's Facebook page. You can go ahead and submit questions there in the comments, and we'll come back with an answer for you as soon as possible if you have any questions for either of these great organizations that are doing work in our community to try and help solve some of the issues that have arisen during this current public health crisis. Charles, before we go, how can people get involved if they want to help you with any kind of donations or anything, any materials that you need to print the face masks, the face shields that you all are creating? How can they do that? How can they help out?
Well, the simple way is going to the Paso del Norte Community Foundation's website. They have a number of COVID-related funds. Ours is one of those, and that they can give directly to that. It's tax deductible, of course. And then they can reach out through the website as well. And that message will get to me if they have the capabilities of helping us print these with the right printers and the expertise, then we'd love to add them to the team. I think also just telling everybody that you might know that works in home health care, nursing homes, clinics, even grocery stores, really any service providers that are out there interfacing with the public who do not have current access to commercially available products, then this is a great stopgap measure to get them through this difficult time and protect them and protect the rest of the public. So, please share that order link with anyone. And I just want to thank Joseph and everyone else. I'm sure, Joe, you found that there's just an upwelling of community support going on, people looking for ways that they can help protect our community and help get us through educationally or other ways through this pandemic crisis. And it's really rewarding that so many El Pasoans are stepping up. And the Paso del Norte Community Foundation has made it so easy for us all to link our efforts together. So I want to thank Tracy Yellen and the rest of the staff at the Paso del Norte Community Foundation.
Definitely, and thank you for mentioning that. If you do go to pdnfoundation.org, right there on the homepage, you'll find a link to a variety of funds that are available if you'd like to give to something COVID-19 related. There is the El Paso COVID-19 Response Fund, which was set up with the United Way of El Paso. Thank you to them. There's also a fund for food and beverage workers and a response fund for Juarez. There's a variety of different funds that you can give to if you'd like to help out with some of the needs that are out there in the community. For Joseph, I'll ask you the same question. How can people either both apply for a laptop for their student or their child, and how can people help if they would like to help?
Okay, so yeah, same thing as Charles mentioned. You can go to the Paso del Norte webpage and find our fund through STTE there and donate electronically. We are also a 501c3, a nonprofit. And then you can also go to our website, sttefoundation.org. There we still are taking submissions for families in need. And so you can fill out a form there. And then if you want to donate a device, there's a form there that we have. And then also if you want to donate to our charity, you can do that as well. So there's 3 buttons on our website. If you click on our page and go to the ties page, you'll see those options and more information on our sponsorship guide. But we're just trying to do as best as we can to fill the need, and so we are, we will have a task force to help trying to tackle this initiative, and it's been really well. It's been great to see the community kind of get together and try and solve all these issues. I think that's one thing that I think after COVID-19 passes, you'll see more of this type of community effort. So really looking forward to the future. But we got some work to do currently. But so yeah, just go to our website or go to the Paso del Norte. And thank you, Tracy and PDN, for all your team's work and helping our foundation get through this as best as we can.
Great. Thank you again, Charles and Joseph, for all the great work you're doing with EP COVID-19 Medical Equipment and Supply Fund and with the STTE Foundation. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on the Facebook Live. Again, if you do have any more questions, this Facebook Live will be up on our page indefinitely, and you can comment any questions you may have, and we'll get back to you with an answer on any questions involving either of these 2 great funds. As always, again, we do encourage you to visit epcovid19.org. It's a website that was created by our sister organization, the Paso del Norte Health Foundation. It's the COVID-19 information hub for the Paso del Norte region. All the information there is free and is available in English and Spanish. There's lots of valuable resources for students, parents, businesses, mental health needs, A lot more is out there, and it's all available in English and Spanish. There's also the What is COVID-19 information hub at whatiscovid19.org. So if you or anyone out there needs some of these resources, please feel free to connect them to that website, log on, and get the help you need. So again, thank you everyone for joining us. We'll be back here next week on the Paso del Norte Community Foundation's Facebook page with another Q&A with members of our Community of Philanthropy. Join us tomorrow on the Paso del Norte Health Foundation's Facebook page for another COVID-19 related Q&A with some of our other philanthropic partners and initiatives. And we'll see you then. Thank you. Bye.